Brilliant. Right. We spent a morning together, didn't we? Sometime in the past. I don't remember,
Yes.
a few months ago. And I remember one of one of the things I remember from it was I think you were oh no, it might have been the first interview we did for the school, I think. And you read your bio from the school. And I've known you for quite a few years, but I realized in that instant I didn't know you at all. So I had like a personal sense of Maestro Bottini, but I didn't know you. I didn't know anything of your lineage, of your history, of your genius. I knew nothing. And then I heard it, and it was like I can remember sitting with tears in my eyes when I heard your bio at what you'd accomplished, who you are in the world. And I also had a sense that there was a whole lot more to come yet, in the truly virtuosic sense. And my sense of watching you, my friend, in the last few weeks is that you're, in the same way you've brought your brilliance and genius to music over the years, and to teaching and to learning and to your own growth, you're now virtuosically performing in your own coaching practice. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Well, that's a beautiful metaphor. I love you for saying that. Thank you for saying that.
You're very welcome.
That's very meaningful to me, and coming from you is especially meaningful. So
Thank you.
thank you.
And just for context for the people watching it, bless his heart, Nick had been on the screen literally 4 seconds, and I went, "We're starting," and hit record, because that just wanted to come through. So, but genuinely, Nick, that's what I see. I see the fun, I see the inspiration, I see your openness in sharing. Just tell me about that. What's going on over there in the world of Bottini?
I think, like a lot of people, when I've been learning things, it's been useful sometimes to kind of look out there at other people and sort of at the horizon and go, okay, well, in my 3rd year of coaching, I'll probably be doing this, and in the 4th year of college, I'll be playing like this. And like it's kind of useful to sort of, I find it helpful to kind of map out some kind of arbitrary sort of scheme in my head, and which is cool. But I mean, particularly I've found in business, but I think it's the same in music, is that there needs to come a point where that needs to be thrown away. Absolutely, because the problem is like I was thinking in terms of how do I build my coaching practice for a while, or how do I learn sales, or what have you. But when I was listening to all the content, there was no specific guidance for how to be a Nick Bottini. There was just the bit that particular person saw in their way, in their particular world. And what I've really recently realized is, like, I've got so many really unique experiences that are all combined in an extremely unique combination that you know, you cannot find that anywhere else in the world. It just doesn't exist. And if I forget that, or I kind of show up only, like the whole thing about messaging and like marketing and like niching down and stuff, like the only niche I'm seeing right now is like me sharing what I think is useful to some of the people who are probably going to be hanging around me, and that's it. And whether that's like some ultra niche like jazz joke that I will sort of refer to in a particular place, or whether it's some ultra niche sort of music education methodology that no one in the coaching world cares about, or whether it's some you know, geeky little thing that I've stumbled across, or whatever. I haven't got time to sort of second guess how it's going to be heard. I'm just going to throw it out that the stuff that I see as I perceive it now, and then the person that calls to and that is open to seeing that and values that, they're going to get engaged with it. And I don't need to worry about like where it lands. I can see this is, I take a stand for what I believe in terms of like, this is valuable. I found it valuable. I know at least one other person out there is bound to find it valuable in some way, in some relevance. I write it in a way where it's kind of easy as I can make it for someone to kind of catch what they catch, and stuff happens. and that's up to them. It's almost like the coaching. It's like I can't give them the insights. All I can do is say, I think this is useful, throw it out. And I'm having a lot of fun doing that because I don't give a flying fuck about like who it hits and who it doesn't hit and whether I've done
Yeah.
it right or not. It's just like, and I don't care also whether I get zero response whatsoever and complete tumbleweed because I like looking down my own feed and seeing like the stuff that I've been learning. I find it
Yeah,
useful
yeah.
for me, if
I love
nothing
that.
else, you know.
I love that. I mean, that
Hmm.
I hear you doing the title of your book. You're just playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, and I don't mean playing as in playing around, and I don't
Hmm.
not mean that either. But
Hmm.
what I hear you saying is that you've really started to get excited about this instrument of the universe called Bottini,
Yeah,
of the Nick variety.
yeah,
And you're
yeah.
playing it and going, oh look, it can make this noise. I didn't realize it made this noise. And oh, if I do that, then it gets like really quiet. Or this time I get and you're just like expressing. And I was when you were I was thinking back actually to when I was younger and playing the trumpet and I first heard Winter Marsalis. And I can remember just crying when I heard it. It was just like it was the most beautiful trumpet playing I think I'd ever heard. And it dawned on me when I was watching him playing that I can't say he wasn't playing for the audience, but it's clear that he wasn't playing for the audience. He was simply playing. That was the expression. And it was the most beautiful thing. And that's what I feel like I've tuned into with you. It's just like, it is just like watching pure artistry, how you're bringing your musical genius to what from the outside would look like the construction of a coaching practice.
Hmm.
But it's actually just you getting up each day and playing.
Right. And
Is that how?
yeah, it's interesting because some people, and I've had this, you know, sometimes people will sometimes send me a message and say, like, I want to know about time management or something, like how do you manage to get so much done? And
No.
it doesn't feel like that because what I'm getting done is being me, and I'm doing that anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I think something that when I go, oh, I want to share that, I've got 5 minutes to write something. What I'm not doing, which I used to do, is oh, I want to share that, but what will they think? Is that right? Should it be top of the funnel kind of language or middle of the funnel language, or should I be trying to close or like, you know, no, just share the thing and move on, you know,
Yeah.
next, and then get on
Beautiful.
a coaching call, whatever, you know.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And you look so loose and so free in how you are. Is that how you know, like physically and bodily, you look completely in tune with what you're doing. Is that your experience of yourself as well? You look at home with how you are.
Hmm. How I am, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel it through with how I am. I wouldn't say, I mean, you don't want my medical history, but in the book I mentioned about having had shoulder pain. So I am like day
Yeah.
to day, actually, I'm in quite a lot of physical pain, actually.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But in my being, and this is part of the journey, actually, like part of me realizing that actually I'm not my body.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't because it used to, and it sometimes can do, but it used to make me shut down completely. Like if I was in pain, I would shut down because I'd think, well, then I can't play, and this means that I'm trapped or whatever in a body that doesn't sort of work for me or what have you. But now more that there's it's been the case in the last few days. I've been you know a little bit uncomfortable physically, and you know that freedom is still available to me no matter what
Yeah,
physical state
that's what it looks
I'm
like.
in. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
very much what it looks like.
that's very much my experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Mm,
brilliant. That's
yeah.
brilliant. So what have you got going on at the moment? What symphonic joy are you cooking up? What
Um,
games is the Bettini playing?
I'm playing quite a few games to be
Yeah.
honest. Shall I just give you like an
Yeah,
overview of
yeah,
like a
go for it.
few
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah, yeah.
projects? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just nice hearing it.
So I got I've been running my group program, Project Domino, which is all about enrollment. That's I've sold out the last 5 cohorts of that. I'm doing the 6th one that I've expanded to now 25 places,
Wow.
more than half full. That's going to definitely sell out before the new year.
Wow. And how
One to
many
one,
people was it before? So it's 25 now. What was it?
15 or 12, I think initially, then 15. Yeah.
Wow. And you've sold out 5 already.
Five
God.
cohorts. Yeah, I've sold like
Wow.
15 places on this current, I think 15 or 16 places on this current
God,
cohort.
that's amazing. Brilliant.
What else am I doing? One-to-one stuff is sort of, at the moment, I think it sort of fluctuates between sort of 90 and 100% full. So part of the, I
Yeah.
mean, I recently dropped my fees, and so what I'm working on is like having it at sort of 120% full, like a little bit too much, like too much
Yeah.
demand for supply. So that's why
Yeah.
I dropped the fees. Um, I am doing some coaching and some training in some organizations now. So it's like after our conversation,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
woke me up to that. So I've been doing some staff training and some executive coaching as a result of that. So
Fantastic.
I'm now moving into the executive coaching space with gusto. I've done a little bit of that before. I've coached leaders before, but kind of stating that that's what I'm doing. So like some coaching for major record labels. That's really cool. So that's all unfolding. And what else? And there is a when I have a breathing space, there is a little bit of time to focus on a new book, but I'm in no particular rush with the new book.
Brilliant.
Um, yeah,
What's it
that's
about?
about um, causing a revolution in the music industry.
Ooh. I love the way you just so nonchalantly said changing the whole universe for the good. Oh, right,
well,
just that.
I guess it's about the individual musician waking up to the fact of how powerful they actually are to
Yeah,
actually have that change, because that's the issue, isn't it? That I think basically there's a lot of musicians who don't who the kind of the group think belief system has been, we are employees, we, whoever pays the piper whoever calls the tune pays the, whatever it is, whoever pays the piper calls the tune,
pulls the tune. Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
thing. Yeah, and that's
Smoothly
kind of,
done, by the way. Yeah,
huh.
smoothly done, by the way. The analogy.
Yeah, yeah. So like wake it, it's like helping wake them up, not just to their entrepreneurial power, given like where technology is and like how much they can do, but like personally their power in being able to
Yeah,
enroll people in things and build such strong relationships that it's not just about how they play, but it's also about the value that they bring by their being on a gig or their being on social media, whatever. It's like it's really tapping them into a much deeper kind of enrollment than just play well and you'll get the gig. It's like, no, you can change the whole game around you by how you show up and enroll and lead, like really
yeah,
calling them to be leaders. Because that's I think there's been a long time that they've basically been pushed down um because they're subversives in society and they can
yeah,
cause
totally.
trouble.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And if you go back historically as well, musicians were patrons of the court, weren't they, or
Mm,
of the church or whatever?
mm,
That's where it existed. They
mm.
were the serfs of the elite, really.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
that's where my heart is, because that's why I'm doing this whole thing, is like to like I want to just show everybody that coaching is powerful and that musicians lives are transformed, and music industry people's lives transformed when they embrace it. And it's relatively new, but behind the scenes, of course, it's the best kept secret. Like there's loads of really successful musicians having coaching, but they just don't advertise it yet. But it's really common actually at the top level. It's really common.
that's brilliant, and I love that. So that's a sort of a coaching revolution within the professional music industry, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Yay! We're pleased you are. Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Pleasure.